welcome to, are you ready? I have the name, okay. Welcome to Off the Page with Keira. So, this was a name that me and my team came up with weeks ago, maybe even a few months ago, and I had this vision that I was going to sit on this couch with my soft blanket and beautiful lighting and the fancy cameras, and I was going to tell you all of the stories, all of the crazy stories that have happened in the last 3 years. But guess what? I just realized, waiting for perfection is the most annoying and frustrating thing ever, and it clamps my creation. So screw that idea. No perfect lights. We're in my prayer corner. It's 10:30 at night. I have no makeup on. I just on my iPhone. Off the Page with Keira. Here we go. You ready? I'm ready. So, shall we begin? Let's begin. It is day 6 of this daily vlog. And today I am so tired. Oh my gosh. I drove for 5 hours today. And that is what happens when you have children that want to go places that are all over town and you live in the middle of nowhere. But it was so good. I got to go do nails with my daughter. We got our eyebrows done and we had lunch and we had so much fun. And then I got to take 2 of my boys to the eye doctor, and Jojo now has to get glasses. Add it to the list. We got 4 kids out of the 5 who need glasses or contacts. Dropped a solid $400 on contacts for 3 children today. And, you just yeah, okay, here we go. Right after Christmas, sure. Then drove my son and all of his cousins, picked him up, took him to my sister's house, then came all the way home, made dinner, took another kid 30 minutes over here, came home, drove 30 minutes to go pick up this one, and now I'm about to go drive another hour to and from my daughter's friend's house. So I think it has literally been a total of 4, maybe 5 hours of driving today. So that was the day. It is Saturday, and I'm soaking up all of the minutes I have with my children because tomorrow they go back with their dad. And so the balance between running an empire and being a single mom is non-existent. There is no balance. I don't know, but I do know that I'm soaking up every second I have on the days that I have them. But what I was praying around, what should this video be about tonight? And it really is how this morning began. So I got up this morning, listened to a 20-minute Joe Dispenza meditation, which is usually what I try and do on weekends to be able to start my day with a little bit of Joe Dispenza. And I had gone to bed last night praying and asking to receive a meditation. So you guys have watched, I built Author Made this week, which is a 3-month container for people who are ready to write a book. But it's not about how to write the book. It's about how to become the author first, and then the book just arrives. And this is probably my deepest work. This is how I've helped everybody write books. I've never taught anyone how to write. I just help them become the leader, and as they become it, the book arrives. And so that's what this program is. And in gate 11, so I'm teaching 12 gates that they have to walk through. In gate 11, I'm giving a meditation on how to release fear. But this felt very stressful for me because I wanted it to be right. This is such an important meditation on releasing fear. And I've put off creating this meditation for a very long time because I just wanted to do it right. And so I went to bed last night and I was I just gave it to God. I was I need you to give me this meditation when I wake up. So I woke up, listened to Joe, came in here, did the whole blessing of the body, received a blessing from God. And the message that I got from God ended up, was so beautiful. I was sitting here, I recording the meditation. And I don't write my meditations, I just channel them. So it's just channeling this meditation. And at the very end, I felt like it needed this. And then all of a sudden I look over, which was my prayer journal. And it was the exact message God gave me in my blessing this morning that needed to end the meditation. It was so beautiful. So that meditation got made this morning. But the reason why this is such an important meditation to me is that this concept is what changed my life. So back in 2023, December 22nd, 2022, my divorce finalized. I had been married for 20 years. And I had enough money to take care of my children for 5 months. And God told me not to take child support or alimony. And it's interesting because the judge over our case wouldn't sign off because I left with nothing. I didn't know I was going to be emotional. I left with my 12-seater van and my clothes and my books and my Vitamix and my kids. I left with nothing. And God said, take nothing. So I did. And I had enough money to furnish a whole house, which for 5 kids is not cheap. I remember walking into the bed store and saying, I need 6 beds. And realizing that I didn't even own a fork. I didn't own a plate. I owned no towels, no sheets. Like, you just don't realize how much you need to start a house until you have nothing. And so on December 22nd, 2022, the marriage was signed off after I told the judge that I would take no money and that I would take nothing. And that was my choice. And when I made that claim, he signed off. And January to May, I was in fight and flight, and I was trying to figure out how to be a single mom and build a publishing house that actually made money. And I was in a business deal that I was giving 20% of my revenue to somebody, and it almost bankrupted me. And that May I had $5,000 left. And I remember sitting on a hotel bed because I was running an event that I didn't even have money to run this event. And I remember sitting on this bed and praying to God and saying, like, why did you think I could do this? Like, you told me to take no money. And here I am with no money left, because $5,000 when you're running a company goes in about 5 seconds. I remember taking my very first Stripe loan. It was $24,000. And I knew that that would buy me a month paying for publishing and all the things, and paying for rent and kids and food. Like, I knew that that would buy me, like, I was hoping 2 months. And so I took that loan and I left the hotel from running that event, and I went to my house. And I remember laying on my bed in the middle of the night. I remember it being 2 a.m. and just screaming at the heavens and just saying, God, like, where are you? Like, I don't have anybody who has money in my life. Like, I have no one who can come and save this situation. God, I need you to give me money. And clear as day, I heard a message. And I heard, Keira, you do not match money. I cannot give it to you. And I had no idea what that meant. And because God speaks to me through visions, all of a sudden a vision showed up. And the vision was of Christ and the woman who touched the hem of his robe and was healed. And I remember that God paused this vision that I was having. And God said, what did Christ say to her when she was healed? Christ did not say, oh, I healed you. No, Christ said, your faith has made you whole. And God said, Christ didn't heal her. She matched the miracle she wanted, and so she was healed. And God said, you do not match money. I cannot give it to you. And it was like a truth, like a sword, just went straight down my body. And I knew this was so true because, well, I can't believe I'm making these videos, just snot coming out. Oh my gosh. I had made some decisions post-divorce, right? I had dated a few men. I hadn't dated a man since I was 18. Okay, so let's just like pause for a second. Pause in this very spiritual story. I had not dated a man since I was 18. And when I was married, I wouldn't even look at another man. Like I wouldn't go watch a Channing Tatum movie because I had this massive crush on Channing Tatum. And I was like, I am married. Like I went from 20 years married, like so straight arrow. And then I get divorced and I'm 40 and I start dating. And I wouldn't say I made some of my best decisions, as most people would say after divorce. It was like a little bit of a whiplash moment. And the decisions I was making threw me into the deepest levels of fear. And then watching this business deal that I was in, taking 20% off the top of my income, which pretty much was everything that was left after I paid for publishing. So watching my money just drain every single month, just so much fear was in my body. And then trying to raise children by myself, so much fear. And then having them live 1 week away from me, I'm so embarrassed to tell this. I hadn't slept in a house by myself since I was, actually never. I got married from my mom's house. So all of a sudden here I am, 40, never dated, like haven't dated since I was literally in high school. I am in a house all by myself for 7 days straight, scared out of my mind, dating really like not high energy men, and watching all of my money disappear. I mean, I was frozen in fear. And so when God said, you don't match money, God was right. I was matching fear. And so when I received this vision from God, I made a commitment that fear would have no place inside of me. And so I began to do a meditation every day, just clearing fear out of my body. And within 4 weeks of this vision, within 4 weeks of clearing fear out of my body, I made $200,000. I'd never made $200,000 in a month. And then within 6 months, I had made $700,000. I'd never made $700,000. And then the next year we made $1 million. And then this year we've made $3 million. And I swear it is this principle of matching the frequency and clearing out fear. And every time I don't have money, it is because, well, I've decided to worship fear instead. And so making this meditation this morning felt so important. Like, I got to get this right. Like, this could literally change people's lives if I could make a meditation that does exactly what I've experienced. And so that's what I made this morning. And it's going to be live on my podcast in 2 days. So I'll link it here when it's live so you guys can listen to it. And actually, we'll probably just put it on the YouTube so you guys can just use it whenever you want. But this vision with God changed the trajectory of my life. This understanding that I must match the frequency of money to receive money. Like, God was like, I can't even give you money. You don't match it. And this is like the truest of the truth inside of me, is that we have to match the frequency of what we're asking for. And if we're worshiping fear, we can only match the things that fear attracts, which are lower level energies, lower level feelings, and also lower level people, lower level experiences. And so this was the beginning of everything. This moment right here on my bed, 2 a.m., when God spoke to me, when God showed me this vision, and when I began to choose to release fear from my body and only allow faith in, this is when everything began to change for me. And so I love that today I got to record that meditation. I love that tonight when I prayed, God showed me to tell this story. And I love that there are so many stories like this. And God has been telling me for the last few months, like, you have to write these stories down. You have to write these stories down. And I keep forgetting. And so maybe this is how we're going to write the stories. The stories that has led to the most extraordinary life that has proved to me time and time again that God will pour down manna, that God will part the Red Seas, that God still speaks to humans, and that you do not have to be perfect, and that you do not have to be holy, and you can be filled with mistakes. God will still speak. We just have to ask. And so I think this is where we're going to go. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to tell you all my stories. I'm excited to bring such witness to the world of what is possible. And I'm grateful you're here. So with that, may you sleep well. May you rise with energy, gratitude, and may faith beat to the very belly of your heart. Okay, I will see you tomorrow.